We're here with 3 powerhouses in the lean sector.
Some people saved money, made more profit. Recently, we've had a company who saved 8 weeks of production time.
We need to put them in the best position to survive, be flexible, be productive, be agile.
There's no substitute for direct observation. To see the turnaround of his company is just mind-blowing.
Tools and technique, that's easy, but it's getting your leaders engaged, motivated, and being able to sustain it. That's the real challenge.
Tools and techniques, that's the easy bit. It's getting your leaders engaged, motivated, and able to sustain it. That is your real challenge. Day 22 of ORCA's life. So 22 straight. Starting to see some real traction, starting to see the payoff for some real results already, which is fantastic. All right, so I banged a post up this morning, and it is around good teams don't become great by working harder, they become great by getting in sync. The number one tool to get everyone in sync, if you look at it from theory of constraint perspective, one of the nine rules of project flow is to sync tasks, resources, and people. That's exactly what the TAKT plan does. I explained it when I was on a meeting this morning. It's like a line in rugby league. When your line comes up straight, your defensive line, you don't have any dramas. Rarely ever does anyone score any points against you when you come up as one line. It's when that line's staggered, people running up out the line. Sometimes you can have someone who's fantastic at doing the work that they do and they're really quick at it, and they're actually pushing your project backwards because they're doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. Anyway, that's the post there on LinkedIn. If you want to see it, it'll be, if you go to my profile, it'll be like the second post. If you want to see it, just put TAKT, this morning's TAKT, comment this morning's TAKT post, and I'll put it up for you. I'm going to actually copy that link, and we're going to put it into the old mate ORCA Wingman, because we're going to take this to the next level today. 2 things that we're going to do with him. One is the task that he sent me yesterday. I'm going to say, this is the post that I did for that task. Give me some feedback on it. Is it aligned with what we're doing here, what we've been doing through this ORCA process? And the second thing is we're going to quiz him on when can we start to introduce flex planning into the process. Have we established ORCA well enough yet that we can start to introduce flex? But we're going to get his expert opinion on that before we just dive straight into it. So we will bring him up. New shift, 15th of December 2025. He'll ask me what the 3 tasks were today, and we'll give him the results plus a link to the post. Let's see what he does. A little bit slow. His brain might be hurting. It's Monday morning. Even ChatGPT can have a slow day. ORCA Wingman, day 22, direct and demanding mode. No novelty, no celebration, just execution. Your day 21 actions were create tomorrow's single objective Kanban ticket before bed, which I did. That was to prep for a meeting that I had this morning. 1 30-minute focus block before noon. Yeah, I've well and truly got that covered. And schedule or draft the second post from the weekend content plan. Okay, so binary answers. Yes was 1, 2 was yes, and 3 was yes. What I want to also do here is I'm going to give you the link to that post. Not only did I draft it or schedule it, it's been posted. Want you to use your tools, go and have a look at that post and give me some feedback as well on how well that post fits with everything that we're doing throughout this ORCA process. Is it on the right track? Is it exactly what we should be doing? Or have I gone off on a tangent and, as a good mate mine likes to say, chosen my own adventure? So we'll let that transcribe, and then we'll post the link in and we'll see what he has to say. Oop, post the link. There we go. Let's see what he does with all of that. Very important when you want AI to, I did this yesterday, right? When you want it to go and read something, say use your tools to go and research. because I gave it some stats yesterday around the habits. I spat out a heap of stats that I knew out of my head. And I actually said to it, use your tools, go and research this stuff. And it didn't. And it came back and it just repeated straight back to me what I'd said. I knew it had. And you can tell by the time that it takes thinking whether it's done the research or not. And it generally pops links up down the bottom as well to show you where it's pulled its content from. Always ask that question. And another one that I use quite regularly is that all the context that you need from me? It's not just about you giving instructions. Ask it, what else do you need from me? How can we get a better result out of this? The more you treat this thing as a team member, as a strategic thought partner, the better the outputs and outcomes that you'll get from it. Okay, daily actions, check in. 3 daily actions. Created tomorrow's single objective Kanban for bed. That was done. So action 1 done. Yes. 2 done. 3 post. Yes. Just those 3 answers. Then we'll lock in today's single objective and ORCA debrief. I'm going to post this link in first this time. And then I can't do it this way on the phone. All right, so let's have a little conversation with him. All right, we'll do it at the end. So we'll make sure that we don't mess this process up. At the end of it, we'll come back and we'll say, this was the post that we actually did for post 3. And actually, no, we'll do it now. So number 3, I just want to do something. Not that I don't want to go off track here, but I just want to make sure that the posts that I'm doing are on the right track and that they tie in with the work that we're actually doing, okay? So just confirm back, say, send me the link, give me the link, Beanie, because I can't, when I hit upload, it transcribes and gives it straight to you, and then you tend to miss the link. So just confirm that you understand what I'm trying to achieve here. Explain back to me what we're doing, and then say, give me the link. Sometimes it will skip over stuff, not quite do stuff the way that you want to. This is why you ask it questions and get it to ask you questions back. So we've got a two-way conversation going on here. It's not just me pushing it, or it's not just it pushing to me. Got it. I understand exactly what you're trying to do here, and you're right to pause and check alignment instead of blindly ticking a box. So he's on board. All right, let me reflect it back to you cleanly, then I'll ask you for the link the way you want it. What you're actually trying to achieve and why this matters. This is the way that we now understand when I read this, I can go, yes, that is exactly what I want. And this is what Ken Blanchard calls not intent-based leadership, but it was, we used to speak about, oh, my leadership style is X or Y or whatever. The leadership style that we need to have is one that the person that we're leading needs. Think about that a little bit more. I'll come back to that later in the week. We'll speak to that a little bit more about how you do that, how you work out someone's level of competency for doing a task when we actually delegate it to them. All right. You're not just posting content to stay consistent. You're doing 3 very specific things at the same time, building a coherent narrative arc. Your LinkedIn posts must tie directly to the ORCA work you're doing daily, the thinking you're developing in real time, the conversations you want to have with GMs and leaders, not random engagement posts, not content for content's sake. Using content as an execution artifact, the posts are outputs of thinking, not performance pieces. Each post should reflect what you're actually working through, reinforce the identity you're building publicly, set up the next conversation session or week. Quality control before cadence. Before we blindly mark action 3, yes, you want to confirm the post is on message, it aligns with the ORCA trajectory, it supports the broader work, not distracts from it. That's mature operator behaviour, not procrastination. You're basically saying, before we keep pressing publish, I want to be sure the direction is right. That's exactly what leaders who don't burn trust do. Why the link matters and why you're right. You're 100% right about the mechanics. You're right to speak. When you speak the link, it gets transcribed. The platform sometimes strips or buries it. I don't always reliably capture it unless you explicitly paste it. See what he's telling me? He's telling me what his weaknesses are here. And this is why I tell you it's important to ask it, what do you understand about this? What am I asking for here? What are we actually going to do here? Create a plan for this. Is one thing that you can just do. If you do nothing else, say to it, give it some instructions and then go, create a plan for me. How are you going to do that before you go actually run off and execute it? make sure that it's actually on the right track, doing what you want. AI is a highly leveraged tool, and you can get a shitload more done with it if you use it right. Or what you can do is use it to create a shitload more dribble and waste. Up that instead of reducing that. Instead of reducing the 10%, reducing this 90% activity, non-value added, we can add to that pile very quickly if we don't know what we're doing with it. So the correct process is you paste the link, I review it in context, I confirm alignment with ORCA, alignment with the week's intent, whether it counts as a valid action 3. Then we proceed to the debrief. This keeps it honest and it keeps it high signal. Next step, say it cleanly, exactly like, here is the link. Paste the LinkedIn post link. Once you send it, I'll address the post. Here is the link in the next chat straight after this. Right, so I should get that now. On the desktop, it's different because you can just copy and paste straight in. So I speak to it, and I always speak my prompts. I don't type them. Very rarely type a prompt. I speak to my AI exactly like I'm speaking to it now. Everyone else in the house thinks I'm fucking mad, but so be it. I'm standing there talking to a camera at the moment. What's the difference whether I speak to a camera or whether I speak to the AI? Yes, I see the LinkedIn post you shared. Good teams don't become great by working harder. They come great by getting in sync. Here's a live link that you posted. So now that I know that he's actually gone and researched this, he's not just spitting back to me what I want to hear. Assessment, is this post on track with what we're building? Yes, it's tightly aligned with your current ORCA work and strategic narrative. Here's why it's clean. It's clear executive language. It connects to your execution framework. The post isn't just commentary. It reflects a systematic insight about team performance. It argues that activity alone is not the path to greatness. What separates good from great is alignment and sync. That's strategic, not tactical. This matches what you've been doing. That's a Keith Cunningham thing too, by the way. Road less stupid, if you want to get some more insights on that. Strategic versus tactical. Big difference. This matches what we've been doing with TAKT and flow-based thinking. It's not generic leadership branding fluff. Many LinkedIn posts on leadership are feel-good noise. Your post diagnoses a specific problem, lack of sync. Proposes a mechanism, TAKT, and disciplined alignment, hints at a pathway to resolution, better planning and sequencing. This is thinking, not performance, and audiences respond better to thinking. It sets up a narrative arc. You don't just post a quote, you tied it into why activity isn't enough, how disciplined planning shifts good teams towards great. What you're about to show next, the flexible part, that's strategic content sequencing, how this supports your weekly content strategy. This post accomplishes 3 tactical outcomes, reinforces your authority, you're not just talking, you're diagnosing system level problems. Positions your methodology, TAKT and disciplined planning become differentiator. You're building narrative continuity. It sets the stage for deeper posts on planning, flow, alignment, and execution. That's exactly what we planned with your weekly content strategy. Insight for future posts based on this pattern. Your most powerful content currently has these ingredients: a systematic diagnosis, not just to work harder, but why work harder doesn't work. Mechanism framing, you tie the problem to a process, synchronization plus TAKT plus discipline planning, outcome focused. You signal the benefit of your approach to greater productivity and less waste. This is the exact shift from activity-based content, framework-based thought leadership. When you maintain that pattern across the week, your audience will start thinking with you, not just reacting to you. Short feedback. You could publish publicly. Here's a boxing up, you can say on live or in comments, please. This post isn't saying work harder, it's saying work aligned. Great teams don't stumble forward with activity. They move together with a plan. That's exactly what TAKT, discipline, execution deliver. That ties back into your mission and the ORCA discipline seamlessly. I'll take that, use that as the first comment. That's a great first comment there. Yes, your LinkedIn post is on track. It aligns with your personal brand as a system thinker, your business strategy, the content plan we set up. The mission you're executing this week. Good job, stick in the landing, keep that pattern, diagnose, mechanism, outcome. Now we can go back to day 22 of ORCA debrief when you're ready. Just drop 3 yes, no answers for actions 1 to 3. 1, yes, 2, yes, 3, yes. This is using AI as a strategic thought partner. It's taking Perimarshall's planning and prioritising your day, which is $1,000 per hour task, crossing it with doing social media with extreme competence, which is another $1,000 per hour task, and establishing values and culture, which is a $10K per hour task. This is ROTS, return on time spent, on steroids. Okay, so we've got our 3 tickets. Objective, Monday 15th December. You already just demonstrated it through behaviour, but I'll make you state it cleanly. What was the one highest leverage objective for today? Single objective for today is I had a meeting with a potential client and stepped them through my process, and I've got to follow up. I need to follow them up tomorrow with this is the Align Your Team Before Christmas Day, and that's coaching packages behind it. That's complete. This is starting to drive some real traction now. As Keith says in here, I forget which chapter it is. It's one of them. We'll have a look and see which one it is. Ordinary things, when done consistently, drive extraordinary results. Or opportunity where structure is chaos. So much in this. This book, Road Less Stupid, is written for business success. Projects are the exact same thing. A business is a project. Objective day 22, run a client meeting to walk potential client through Align Your Team Before Christmas process and advance the opportunity. That's the single objective. This follow-up is the next action, not today's objective. Locked. Day 22 results. Binary, observable, no spin. Client meeting completed. Process clearly stepped through. Opportunity advance. Follow-up identified for tomorrow. Objective achieved. Day 22, direct and demanding. What's the actual made work? What actually made today work? You led with process, not persuasion. You didn't sell, you walked them through how you work. That reduces resistance and build trust. I didn't do any sales at all. Very little to none. Stepping through the process. Why do you use flex spin? Because it starts to flow well off. Why do we debrief? Why is this flywheel? How does that work? It spins up as you go. Activity. We can have people, good people, doing exceptional work, can be highly productive, highly efficient, yet still be driving the business backwards because they don't understand the difference between non-value added activity and value added activity. What part of the process do you help us with, Ben? I'm the wingman. Got your back. Alignment, avoid traps, catalyst, move roadblocks, mitigate resistance to change. Why does the TAKT plan work so well? Flow, gets everyone heading in the same, rowing in the same direction. You had a clear offer frame, align your team before Christmas, time-bound, relevant, specific. This prevented the meeting drifting into vague interests. You separated today's mission from tomorrow's action. You didn't try to close everything today. You completed the meeting cleaning and defined the next step. That's professional pipeline management. These behaviours, not charisma, created momentum. 3 daily actions for the next 24 hours. Make sure, as I do at the end of this, he always says to me, I've got to write my Kanban ticket, so I make sure I put those in my hand so that I get it done. I do it straight after this. I don't wander off, go and crack a beer or whatever it is and then forget to do it. Create tomorrow's single objective Kanban ticket before bed. That's going to be very easy, which is create the offer, draft email with workshop day and coaching packages and send it. That's the first ticket off the rank in the morning. Done. That's already done now. Send a follow-up for Align Your Team Before Christmas. One clear email or message. Process recap, next step, no fluff. 1 30-minute focus block to prep for the next client conversation. No content, no admin prep. Binary contained, high leverage. Insight package. You're now consistently doing something most people never learn, separating meetings from outcomes and outcomes from actions. That's how pipelines stay clean instead of chaotic. Today's followed a clean, flawless execution loop. Clear mission, structured conversation, define next step, no false close. That's how trust compounds. AI, matter, insight. Your strongest days now share a pattern. Human interaction plus clear process and time-bound offer. When those three are present, your execution quality is automatic. That's not a coincidence. That's your lane. When you're ready for day 23. Okay. This is the question that you asked me to come back to you with last week, and it is flex. When do you think we're going to be ready? We parked it last week because I was on the road and we just needed to continue the streak. Bearing in mind that next Monday, 22nd of this month, I'm going to Melbourne to see my daughter and her partner and family and stuff for their Christmas break. So from the 22nd, we're in Melbourne. 25th and 26th, obviously, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. 27th, I'm going to the cricket in Melbourne. 28th is my wedding anniversary when we fly back. What's the risk of starting to introduce flex now? And given that context and remembering that Thursday the 1st is New Year's Day, not that that means anything for me, we'll be doing this regardless. When should we start to introduce flex planning into this process? Let's see what the insights he comes up with here. Because, again, in this book, Keith Cunningham speaks to excessive optimism. Don't have this book, you really have to get it. It's a sensational book. I forget which chapter it is, whether it's got its own chapter or not, excessive optimism. But that's what kills, as he says in the book, indigestion rather than starvation kills most businesses. Most businesses are trying to, my parents used to tell me when I was a kid, bite off more than you can chew and chew like hell. Terrible fucking advice. Really bad. Short answer, AI helps you kill the excessive optimism, because I'd think, yeah, I can introduce flex now. Piss. That's what AI's got to say about it. Do not introduce flex yet. Target start date, Monday, 6th of January. Because if I was sitting here thinking to myself, oh, fuck it, I'll just put it off to the new year, I'll be going, am I procrastinating or am I not? He's going to give me the reasons behind why we should hold off until then. Anything earlier increases risk more than upside. So there's more of a chance that I'm going to stop doing the ORCA process than there is a chance that the flex will improve my results. That's what he's saying. The real decision here, this is the Cunningham list. This is not a can we technically start flex question. It's a risk of rupture question. Right now, ORCA is doing 3 critical jobs: protecting the streak, locking in identity level behaviour, absorbing environmental chaos, travel, holidays, family time distortion. Flex is not a feature. Flex is a second operating layer. Introducing a second operating layer when the environment is unstable is how streaks die. Let's look at the calendar reality, not pretending. Travel to Melbourne, 22nd. Christmas disruption, 25th, 26th. Major social load, 27th cricket, 28th anniversary plus travel. New Year's Day, the 1st. Ongoing family and plus location context switching. This period is high emotional load and low structural predictability. That is exactly when new frameworks fail. The actual risk of starting flex now, here are the real risks, not theoretical ones. Cognitive load, overload risk. Primary, you would be running ORCA, daily non-negotiable, flex, planning, framing, sequencing, travel logistics, family obligations, emotional context switching. That creates decision fatigue, not leverage. When fatigue hits, the thing that breaks is usually the new layer, but the damage spills into the old one. Identity fractured risk, hidden but dangerous. Right now your identity is, I don't break the ORCA streak. If flex creates in one day of confusion, which process do I run, you risk hesitation, delay, missed execution window. Identity hesitation is far more dangerous than missing a task. False negative risk. If you start flex now and it feels clunky, you'll misdiagnose. Maybe flex isn't right, when the truth would be the environment wasn't right. Good tools get killed all the time by bad timing. Why Monday the 6th of January is the correct starting point. This is the key insight. By Monday the 6th of January, travel is done, holidays are complete, social load drops, time rhythm normalises, ORCA streak is plus 35 days. Deep identity lock-in. ORCA is no longer fragile. You've proven you can protect it under chaos. You have a spare cognitive bandwidth again, and this is when flex becomes additive, not destructive. What we do between now and then, this is important. We do not pause flex entirely. We keep it in cold storage mode. Allowed between now and January 6th. Light notes, observation, this would be useful for flex later. Zero execution, zero daily requirement, zero integration pressure. Think of it as designing a runway, not taxiing the plane. Not allowed. Daily flex checklist, dual planning rituals, switching between ORCA and flex and in the same day. Any behaviour that competes with ORCA. ORCA remains the spine. The exact flex introduction plan so this doesn't drift. Here's the clean rollout. Phase 1 now, Jan 5, ORCA only, protect street, use ORCA to absorb holidays, capture flex ideas passively. Phase 2, Monday, Jan 6, flex in soft introduction, flex runs once per week, no daily flex planning only, ORCA remains daily execution layer. Phase 3, late January, only if stable, flex cadence increased if and only if ORCA streak is unbroken. Execution feels boring, good sign, no hesitation at the start of the day. Escalate only when the boredom appears, not excitement. Wingman truth, firm, not dramatic. You're doing something very few people ever do. You're protecting behaviour through real life, not ideal conditions. That makes ORCA sacred right now. Anything that threatens this streak before day 45 to 60 is a bad trade. Waiting is not a weakness, waiting is sequence discipline. Final call. Park flex execution until Monday 6th of January 2026. Preserve streak identity and long-term leverage. We'll form a schedule, a flex activation session inside ORCA during the first week of January. If you want, next time we can design flex ORCA handoffs, define what flex is allowed to do and not do, and lock escalation criteria so flex never destabilizes execution. Say the word. All right, giving you enough to think about there. We've gone way past there, 10 to 15 minutes today too, we're at 27, near the end of the day. If you're liking what you're hearing, seeing in these videos and you want to know a bit more, I do what's called a triage session, which is a quick 15-minute chat, see if we think we might be a good fit to work together or not. 2 key businesses that I'm looking for at the moment, either here on the Sunshine Coast or in Brisbane, that I'll get ready to move from good to great and build the likes of Aspirin Metals. This little video will explain to you quickly what I'm doing, what I'm looking for. Take it, use this ORCA process, just start doing it. Do it every day. When you're ready, reach out, ambitioustarget.com. If you're not quite ready to book the Ambitious Target session in just yet, scroll to the bottom of the page. There'll be a link there to do the 15-minute triage chat. Speak soon. I'm looking for a couple of businesses specifically on the Sunshine Coast. This all came about the other day. I was sitting down with a lad who understands this stuff, who's been overseas and seen it in action numerous times. I said the problem here is on the coast. There's some awesome groups here on the coast, one being Manufacturers Excellence Forum. Doing some great work, some really good stuff going on the Sunshine Coast in the manufacturing space. But when we compare it to, talking to the book Good to Great here, Jim Collins, they're at a good level, they're not at great. Nowhere near it. And good is the enemy of great. Great is what the likes of, and I'm going to show you these companies today, Aspirin Metals, Fast Cap, and Seating Matters do. It's levels above what we're currently doing. We've got, I think we're doing 1.6, and I'm not speaking to the dollar figures that I use here today are purely for educational purposes, let's call it, okay? I'm just putting out there, this is what we're currently doing, this is where we could be if we closed the gap and did the stuff that these guys are doing, the Fast Caps, the Seating Matters, those sorts of businesses. But we need someone to step up and lead the way. We need to see what, I said the other day, what good looks like. We don't need to see what good looks like. We know what good looks like. Good's average. What we need to see is what great looks like. We need to stop comparing ourselves and patting ourselves on the back because we see all the other businesses on the coast and we've got one that's a little bit better. We might want to start 2026 like this. I'm starting a new pilot program called 2026 Pre-Season Training. It's for leaders who want to get their team match fit before the whistle blows and the 2026 season kicks off. So if you're running a good company or a team and you want to hit 2026 in a sprint, this is your window right now to set it up. We'll custom build your 12-month plan and drop it into a Trello board so that you actually track it and use it. We'll resource it properly so the work actually gets done and set you up a school community so that you're ready to get rhythm from day one. We'll be setting it all up using Goldrat's project rules of flow to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure, because that's exactly what this is and how you need to treat it as a project. And you'll also be learning to leverage AI where it counts to get the most impact. This isn't some paint by numbers cookie cutter course. It's pre-season training custom built for your business. There's only 10 spots and we'll have it wrapped up so that you're ready to run before we hit Christmas. DM me the words 2026 pre-season training and I'll send you all the details, because you really don't want to start 2026 like this.